Hey, we're gonna start in a few minutes. I'm gonna explain some things when I do start. All right, it's time to get the show on the road. Okay, now I am ready. And then, because yesterday I recorded or I streamed, and I didn't quite like I didn't change the thing. Ah! Uh,
Message repeats. 2-5.
so yeah, I didn't like how they turned out, so I'm kind of just redoing it, but I'm gonna do it in the back to just parts rather than all together. Just because one, I'm also just kind of what's the word? Short on time a little bit, so this will just have to do. And I'll just record part 3 either tonight or tomorrow.
0.
Better make a note of this and talk to one of the radio operators.
9.
But
Probably ought to run that by operators.
I'm gonna try to remember everything I said yesterday.
Be important.
2.
But there was some things I just didn't
November. 8.
say or didn't get a chance to say. I was a little tired. I was going in and out. I didn't like the way it turned out. Basically.
You the dispatcher?
A little more than that, Agent Carter.
Oh.
I'm Chief Information Officer with the Bureau.
Information.
I know one thing I did talk about though was I was disappointed with how they did this, and that's because they have this thing where you get like the radio message from the thing. You don't ever do that again.
Because rioting mobs of civilians are the last thing we need right now.
Exactly. You and your agents contain the enemy's attacks, and my operators will keep the public panic level in check.
I'll try not to distract you too much.
As long as you have a good reason.
Yeah, you don't ever do it again. It's the only time you do it. And you know, then you don't get anything out of it. So it's like,
Yes, most broadcasting equipment is heavy interference.
I'm not saying that you have to have
5%
something
of normal.
Then how are you
actually affect the
Equipment is
world.
significantly more robust. We're still communicating
The
at
problem is,
90% of
the problem is that they make it seem like
What is the
it's gonna be
population now?
affected,
They're worried about the communications blackout, but our operatives in the
and then you
military
present
keep them
us
in
like
line.
things like this where
Keeping them in
you
line.
wind up having to
Make it seem
intercept
like
a
it's
radio
fucking
message and
martial law.
whatnot and
Nothing
decipher
especially
it,
like that, just a series of emergency preparedness
and then you
plans.
just never do it
Nothing
again.
tense, but orderly.
So it just kind of
Radio's been playing a strange broadcast. Any idea what it means?
I heard. It's probably an automated weather station nearby, but I suppose it might be instructions for picking up a weaker signal. A clever broadcaster could bypass the worst of the jamming that way.
It could be survivors. We could bring them in.
It's worth checking out. I'll have
And that's the problem I
operators
have.
on the radio while you give us the data.
too.
First set the
Worth
range
bringing
to-
in. Bringing in for what? Like for radio
Set the
broadcasting?
range to 250.
Now the direction?
Set the direction north.
It don't mean like it doesn't do anything to do it.
92 megahertz.
Bring them in.
High frequency. Nothing.
Have them come in
What is? It's survivors.
and do what? Like
They're trying to warn others of the
work on
attack.
broadcasting?
Reply. Tell them they aren't alone. We'll do what we can to assist.
We'll dispatch someone to help, but we'll also have to make sure they stop broadcasting immediately. We can't risk that information spreading.
As long as they get rescued.
But like, there's no point because like the information team, it's not like you get information on like imagine if you didn't do this, right? Um say like I'm not like the XCOM team is supposed to be the best of the best, right? Say for that, right? Because when you go on missions, you don't really know what you're about to get into. Say you bought them in and you get it. There's like little tidbits of information that you end up finding out for the mission, right? Like that's something that you could have easily just missed. Like it just sucks.
You were there. You saw what he was capable of.
I did. It's just... his file paints a different picture.
Okay, agents, let's begin. We going on another wild goose chase, Director? Not this time, agents. Because I brought in an expert agent who I expect to turn the tide. Allow me to introduce your new senior agent, Miss Angela Weaver. Agent Weaver, please begin.
Good evening, agents. Now, we have reason to believe our target is...
Is this some kind of joke?
I assure you, I do not joke about potential infiltrate...
Come on, miss. Get back to reception and leave the real work to us, okay? Agent Percy, watch your tone.
Director, how many concrete cases of the outsiders have your agents uncovered to this date?
That would be 0.
And how many have I uncovered in my own investigations?
2 confirmed, 1 pending.
Thank you, Director. If I may continue...
Listen up, Agent Percy. Maybe you'll learn how to do your job. Yes, sir.
Now,
Talking about deans, but what's interesting is that like through these, you end up hearing other agents and whatnot, but you don't ever meet them. Like you never meet Agent Piercy. Like it'd be kind of cool. Like I feel like I feel like it should be something where you can kind of recruit s- like certain agents that you hear through these tapes, and you're like, oh wait, that's Agent so and so. You never meet Agent Piercy, so I was thinking about reading these. I'm probably not going to read them at all. I don't really care about them. I'm like definitely. Like I'm just doing like I skim through them while I'm playing,
Speak of the devil.
Carter, good. Agent Weaver is afraid you don't play well with others. I tend to see that as an asset.
and then I ignore him and go play the tape.
All signs show a pattern of systemic interference that cannot be explained by known enemies. Excellent work as always, Falk. But I'm not sure what
Come
you're
over here, Carter.
suggesting.
I'd like a
These
word.
aren't from the Reds. They aren't from any known source on Earth, so we must examine alternative sources. You mean to say aliens? It's more likely than you think. We cannot afford to be caught off guard. Oh, okay, Myron. I think you've been working too hard. Take a little time off, maybe a vacation, and... No, listen, this is too important to ignore. My team has already uncovered a half dozen potential cases of outside interference. No, you listen. I have a meeting with the generals in 2 days, and I will not have you making a laughing stock out of this department. General Deans is already talking about cutting funding, and if that happens, you and your team will be out. Do you understand? Yes, Director. Perhaps you're right about that vacation. That's more like it. Someplace nice and sunny. Lots of fresh air, like New Mexico.
Yeah, right here, I think this is the reason why Falk really backs up Angela in that one tape because like Falk is sitting here giving him information about the Reapers. Oops, I mean the alien. um, and the director isn't listening to him. He's like undermining him, and then you have Angela, who he brings down, shares the same passion as Falk do about these outsiders, and then she's being undermined. That's why I think they kind of have these tapes like back to back to really show that Falk and Angela kind of, you know, they're really good at helping each other out. And whatnot. So,
What do you want from me, sir?
We're
or
not here in this
or Falks kind of sees himself in Angela. I guess would be better to say than what I just said.
facility by chance. I brought you here quite purposefully. I've been following your career for some time.
Why me?
Yeah,
Behind a
it's
desk
kind of
for
crazy too to think that Falk
a while.
was like a
Yeah,
little
but you were a hell of an agent
like a little
before you
bitch.
sat behind that desk. And
But
what's more,
as
I
soon
know
as
what put you
I'm
behind
sure
that
as soon as
desk.
the fucking
Brass put me there.
director died, he
Sure,
was.
the brass made the call. But
It's
it was
almost like
you
when
who
kids
kept
be waiting
yourself
for like
there.
their
I
parents to
don't
like
need another round of
pass so
psychopath
they didn't get
talk.
the inheritance.
I had enough of
I
that
think
from
this
the
is Falk.
company shrinks after the incident.
It was an accident, Carter. Beyond your control.
Right, yeah. And next you tell me how I can't save everyone.
It's too late for that. But you can save some of them. And right now, that might be enough.
Right. Well, I'm with you, Falk. If only because, for all we know, this clown show you're running here is all that's left of our nation's defenses.
Then that makes you one of the nation's best weapons.
What do we know about the enemy?
Very little. Before this morning, we only knew of scattered oddities. We weren't even sure if they were connected.
Such as?
Deposits of the substance called Illyrium were found in various locations across the nation. There were weather oddities. We received and investigated reports of what we called thinnings.
right.
Localized instances where the
Sorry about that. I was like
reality
eating a slice
itself
of
seemed
cake.
to
I
be
like to have a slice of
warping,
cake.
then dissolving.
Cup of
And
coffee.
this was kept secret?
From whom? The populace? The news would have generated mass
But-
panic. No.
Now where was
The
I?
circle was
Now
kept
this is like the
small.
beginning part and whatnot, and you're really just kind of
Where's this place?
exploring the base, getting
When
learn some
aliens from
things.
another world
Something
come
I forgot to do,
This facility is essentially fulfilling its intended function.
and it's gonna come up in just a second. It's not like it affects the story any
Do all these people work here?
case in any
Typically,
sense.
you won't find much more than a skeleton crew here.
It's just a little thing that you can
Certain
spot,
carefully selected individuals across
and
all
I guess Carter
military
just doesn't think
associations
anything
are
of it.
aware of this facility's
But
existence.
there's a scientist that was
Recently,
arguing
we
with a
received
guard
intel
earlier
that there
about
were
letting him get
orders to
through,
arrive here.
and he's like, "Yeah, I have some
Well, based on your
experimental
performance
explosive
at Green
stuff."
Range, I'd say that
Um,
was a grievous oversight.
in a little bit, in a little bit,
Our first order of
uh,
business is to get
we'll
this
wind up
facility
having
running
to
at full
kind of deal with
capacity.
that
I believe
issue,
our best shot at defeating an enemy with
and
superior
you'll find out what
technology
really was
is
in
to
there. And
take that
the
technology from them and
scientist
move
was
it.
actually
We got the
a
facilities to do that?
spy,
We're still
I guess
finishing
you would say.
construction on the lab, but we've already got one of the best leading the team, Dr. Dressner, and he won't be doing it alone. I'm in the midst of organizing field teams to be sent on recon and recruitment missions for other specialists.
I'm heading down to the ready room.
De Silva will meet you there and help you assemble a team. Get moving.
Now during here, I don't know why I was also, yeah. If you didn't listen to that tape earlier, it's locked now, and you won't be able to listen to it at all. So, but yeah, right here, uh, the scientist would have been arguing with one of the soldiers there. And like I said, I kind of missed it, but that's life. I'm probably gonna kind of come back here and re-record anyway.
They look like some kind of, I don't know.
Probably gonna
some
come
kind of
back here and
monsters or
re-record
something. How's it
anyway,
going,
just so I can
Agent
get that
Carter?
part, just so I can bring it
Yes,
up in the
I'll
story
tell him right
review.
away.
It's not necessary for the gameplay review.
The old man just called down. Says one of the scientists is missing. Disappeared, along with his research in high explosives.
Yep.
Does Falk think he's gone rogue? Maybe, but we can't risk a panic. Nils is tracking him down, but you need to get a team ready to help, quick and quiet. This
Yeah.
is a list of available agents.
It's like a
Falk has
haphazard,
gathered
like,
everyone he could find
this
from
is,
all the agencies. All of them
I mean,
specialists, all of them the best at what they do.
you kind of hear it here, but it's a little bit of a haphazard, like, oh yeah, you need to get a team up real quick. And like actual XCOM, you can customize your team, like outfit. I don't know about their names. I
Wait
don't
for me, Nils.
remember.
I'll get your back.
I'll wait as long as I can, but we can't risk leaving him with those explosives.
I'm on my way.
Dude, it's such a Sasuke move to have him alone with it.
Carter, head through the armory and take a left for the elevator. I'll send your team up to join you. Damn it, Nils. Hold on.
Take a seat, gentlemen. Director Falk has personally chosen you for this initiative, and I will be your team leader. It's an honor to work with you, Agent De Silva. We're all honored, I'm sure, but the director wasn't very clear about what we'd be doing. For the most part, it's what you're familiar with. You're all experienced field agents, so investigation and recovery in hostile environments aren't new to you. You said it, best in the service. And it brings all the normal risks of any field work involving hostiles. Yes, but Director Falk said something about unusual subjects? Yes, they might be different than you're used to. You mean we're not going after the Reds? So who are we looking for? We believe we have uncovered a new enemy of the state. We'll be investigating the exact nature of their organization. Oh, understood. I think. You can put us up against anybody in the world, sir. Yes, well, about that.
It's funny too when you think about like how you played as De Silva during the DLC in Hymir 6, because that was him discovering about the outsiders. This part right here is interesting. You could see it; it's very faint, but there was a cut there. The game crashed like 3 times, and I couldn't figure it out until I had checked the settings and I realized that the claw physics were on for in the settings, which I don't. I'm like curious to know that those claw physics used to work, and I don't even know what they were mainly. I mean, I haven't. I have an idea what claw physics are for, but like in the context of this game, does it like? I wonder like at what point was it like necessary to have claw physics, right? Cloth, not claw. Cloth physics, because like the you didn't. I mean, it's just weird. Though I think if you had them on, um, during that beginning scene, um, your hat can fall off and you can pick it back up too. I think. I think. I don't remember, but I think. Yeah, you'll end up coming here a couple of times. I find it so funny how he just whips out the fucking M1A like it's a pistol out of his back pocket and shit. And then he just has the fucking 1911
Oh,
here.
Christ, Nils.
Yeah, Sasuke died, unfortunately.
Do not grieve. He died well.
Why? Why kill me?
I'm just saying,
Why attack
these
our
guys act more like
You do not understand.
Covenant.
This world is no longer
Like
yours.
they really do act like the
You will
Covenant.
learn.
Like
Mosaic will
they have
teach
like
you.
the side.
What the hell is
Well,
Mosaic?
Mosaic is
they
the
don't.
truth
Covenant
that
only
you
have like the
will
sideway
find.
mouse, but they had
It is
like. I mean, I
unfortunate,
know they wanted it to
but
look
here
more
to witness.
alien at the
Yeah,
time,
well,
so
I know
they're
one truth
you know
that
they
you
have like
don't.
pussy lips and shit.
And what is that?
And then,
You're surrounded.
but like they can turn invisible. They have like a hierarchy, right? Like you have the mutons that are kind of like the brutes. You have the sectoids that are kind of like grunts. The infiltrators, they act like, you know, regular um Covenant, right? Like that's what they act like, right? And then
Healing
I'm
engaged.
trying to think, like not exactly, but that's what it feels like half the time. And then like the whole trying to stop the enemy menace, it feels more like Mass Effect with its stop the Reapers kind of dealio.
Ceasefire, fellas.
And then of course you also
Widow
have
us
like the
alive. Let's get him into custody.
dialogue
I got the
wheel, you
infiltrator,
have
Falk.
the
Alive.
abilities, you can tell troops where to go.
Nils is dead. I told him to wait for backup.
But it's just not
But he
it's
ran
not the
away.
same, right? Like the Mass Effect one at least is very robust. It's very customizable, right? This one is very it's very um minute, restrictive. Like there's small customizability for your troops, but it's just not there. It very much is not there. So that's what sucks. Also, something I did forget to mention, that outsider, he had an M1A. That is the only time you will see any kind of
I got it.
alien have
Isn't it? Nils.
a
He's got
human
cameras.
weaponry. That is the only
In
time.
there.
I think
I gotta head out.
I think there's one more time later on,
Mission.
but it's still the same. It's still the same guy.
All right.
So
Good luck, Agent De Silva.
I don't need luck. And the name's Nico. Will.
so, but I think he's like coded to be the only one with any type of human weaponry. Which I'm kind of curious how that would have worked out, like in like later on. Like, imagine like sounds played a big role, not a big role, but somewhat of a role in this game, and you hear human weaponry like being shot, and you think it's humans, and then you get there, it's just aliens, and it was just to kind of you know lower your defenses.
I am Dr. Heinrich Dresner, and I have been expecting you.
That's nice, Doc, but I got a report to...
I assure you, Herr Falk will be glad that we spoke. After all, we shall need new weapons to fight this war. And my laboratory shall be where they are created. Any weapons you retrieve from the field, we will be glad to study and convert for your use.
Now this sucks
These outsiders and their technology.
about because they're like, yeah, new weaponry will be created. Well, they don't ever create any new weapons. They just take the whole weapons, just make it to where you can use it, as opposed to like the old XCOM or like, you know, regular XCOM, where once you research how alien weapon work, they convert it into you know, the aliens weaponry, but it's with human design in mind, human ergonomics and whatnot. Like the thing about, because in this first part we'll get the scatter shotgun, the laser gun. The problem is that that gun is made with Muton ergonomics in mind, right? Like all the alien weapons are made with their ergonomics in mind, not with human not with like human I keep saying ergonomics, but I mean essentially that's what it is. It's just not made with human intention in mind. Even if, say, like we have the same hand size as the infiltrators or whatnot, Mutons have seriously huge hands. Like that thing, I'm sure they made it to have like high firepower and hits hard because the Mutons can take that. They can deal with that. Humans can't deal with how explosive the power has to be. Especially like when you fight them, the scatter gun, they essentially, they don't even, like, for us when we use it, it's like, again, it's like kind of like shotgun aesthetic. So you shoot it's semi-automatic is where I'm getting at. The Muton, on the other hand, uses it like a auto rifle. Like you hear him do boom, 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 boom. Like it's like an auto rifle for him. So it's just crazy that they didn't, like, I don't know. I would like to have the whatever shotgun. Like imagine this. Imagine if you find uh so say you okay, like say you take the scatter gun, right? Bring it back. They will take, the whatever shotgun we have available, which in that case is that Winchester shotgun. And they kind of modify it like that. Now, what if while you're out in the field, you find another type of shotgun, right? And as long as you bring that shotgun back, they will integrate it with that designer shotgun. So you get two decisions. So you get more decisions as to how you want your team to, to roll with the shotguns, right? Do you want something that's more like start off style? Do you want one that shoots slugs? Do you want like an automatic shotgun, like a SPAS 12 almost? Like, there's so much potential is missing, and then the only time that they actually do anything like this is during Hanger 6 R&D. Not exactly, but they do go ahead and they make something called a microwave rifle and a microwave pistol. And basically it's a weapon that just cooks enemies essentially. And they don't and that's it. Like there's no other like interesting designs or nothing. Like this is a time period where they really was just experimenting with different guns and whatnot. Like um imagine like you bought gun back, they're like, yeah, we need you to field test this,
Hold on, Agent. I'm on the
right?
verge of a breakthrough.
so we can figure out what's wrong with it.
Outsiders' crypto-paramilitary
So you know,
operation,
you get,
what it
you know, you have the
means,
gun,
and
you're
their
field
rival
testing it.
societal,
It has problems here and there, like say it like you can have one that's
Sounds like a
where like
tactical
a weapon just
report.
completely just falls apart, and you're just relying on your side weapon until you can pick up another gun, or until you can
What sort of problem
find
are you working on?
Right
um
now, we're busy with just the basics.
like a
Who are the
resupply
enemy?
point
What are their capabilities?
or whatnot,
How do we
right?
fight back?
Like once you do
Important
that,
questions.
Yes, but they're the
then you
small
just, you know, you get
ones.
back, they
We haven't
like
even
fix it
really
up,
asked
then
them
you go
to
into
The big
like
question.
why.
there's so much they could have done with
What do
this,
you make of their attack?
Ops has reports of
and it's
simultaneous attacks across
they
the
just
country,
didn't.
starting within seconds of each other. Obviously, their power is tremendous.
I could have told you that.
Yeah, but it also means they were waiting for some kind of signal. Why did they attack today rather than yesterday? Why not tomorrow?
They seem to be targeting a package I was carrying. Wish I could tell you what was in it. It's gone now.
That's certainly possible. Or it could be the Russians, or maybe unusual weather patterns in the Antarctic.
Right. So how does somebody get a job like this?
Director Falk gathered experts in a variety of fields: psychology, statistical
Yeah, I don't really
analysis,
know what this guy's
astronomy.
dealio is.
We wanna
You don't
read his
ever
minds,
like this.
the
You
plan
just
for
interact with him
action.
just this one moment, and after that,
Technically
it don't
philosophy. I have a
ever
number of less
devolve into
official
anything else.
qualifications on
Like this is
paranormal
it.
matters. If you ever want to hear about my
Again,
hunch
just
for the North
lackluster
South
shit
Coast,
here and there.
let me know.
I think I'm okay. I'll leave you to the big questions then.
Yes. Yes.
Agent Carter, your report.
The bastard got Nils. This cannot happen again, Falk. Killing Nils? Christ, we're lucky that's all he managed to do.
Agent Nils' loss will be felt throughout the organization. But right now, we have bigger problems.
His loss. God damn it, we need to stop these bastards. And we need to do it now. Do you understand that?
Calm yourself, Agent. We all agree they have to be stopped. I believe that our best hope for doing so is to recover Dr. Alan Weir from Rosemont University.
No, what we need to do is put a stop to the enemy.
Agreed. And we can do both. There's been another attack. The target is
Rosemont University.
Civilian target? Why?
Because Dr. Weir's research can tell us what the enemy wants, how they think, and how to stop them. We need him on the team if we want to survive. And you know better than anyone that surviving is the first step to striking back.
All right. Let's go get him.
Good man. When you're ready, bring up the tactical map on that terminal, and your team will be dispatched. Make sure you've got everything in order around the base.
Also, one issue I want to kind of dealing with, like, one thing I kind of wish I kept from my first play, like I really do wish like the first playthrough was there, because the next issue that I'm kind of noticing throughout this is that I've been using only two classes, and that is the the recon and the commando, and that's because the recon and the commando kind of does everything I needed to do. Like they destroy everything. As far as like enemy suppression, like like for the engineer, you kind of get that, but you kind of don't. So I don't know. Any case, this is the end of part 2 right here. So pretty lackluster, but this was just the first base visit, and that was it. So boom. All right, that was awesome. All right, we're gonna hit that. Yeah, we're gonna be ending. All right. So again, bit of a smaller stream. Sorry about that. But we are gonna watch part 3, and then I'll do some stuff and whatnot. So you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you on the next one.